Hello. This is a tutorial about everything that you would need to know before your first any percent speedrun. And we're starting at the most useless screen in most instances of SA2, the launcher. Most people, as a matter of fact, avoid the launcher, including myself, and boot directly from the app so that they don't have to deal with this ridiculousness, especially if they boot the game without a controller plugged in. But there are two very important things that we need in this launcher. The first thing that we need to make sure that we have a 16:9 or 16:10 resolution. Any resolution wider than 16:10 works, really. Resolutions between 4:3 and 16:10 may work. I haven't scienced them, but 4:3 absolutely will not. So, and I'm pretty sure it actually gets more difficult to do the run the closer to 4:3 it is. So, your mileage may vary. In any case, the second thing that you need to change is to go to player, which normally is just an unchangeable menu of what the key bindings are, even though it really looks like you should be able to change them. But what's important here is player 2. Player 2 shows the keyboard, and you might not think that you'll need player 2 for a run like this, but you do. You don't need much, but you do need to know for sure what the start button is bound to. And it'll be very important for a number of reasons. I think 4 menu options need to be selected with the second player start button. So with all that being said, let's boot up the game. So you might be thinking, how do I know if my resolution will work for this? And you also might be thinking, why the hell are you in Cosmic Wall? Well, one reason to answer both of these questions. Right after that checkpoint, near these 2 robots, you'll see this giant pyramid. The camera actually pans away to show us the pyramid better. Underneath this pyramid is a Chao key. If you break the box and collect the key, the game will actually automatically give you the Chao Key Glitch. The reason it does this is because this very aesthetic camera angle is very far away from where the Chao key is supposed to go on the HUD. And the camera physical object being far away from the player in a very wide display is what causes the Chao Key Glitch to happen. This is why it can't happen on 4:3 because the HUD is not far enough over.
Design is perfectly suited for space.
Sorry, Eggman, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Anyway, if you have a resolution that is able to perform the Chao Key Glitch this way, it will work for everything else. It just might be a little bit more tricky on Radical Highway. Which, speaking of Radical Highway, it's time to talk about how this run actually works. In this run, you will play every Dark Story stage up to and including Radical Highway. After you've done this, you will play Security Hall as Shadow 40 times. The reason you play 40 times is because you need to increment the story counter once for every stage and cutscene between Radical Highway and the final one. This means that if you stop at any number before 40, you will get some random spot between Dark Story and Last Story. And I say random, but you will get the same spot every time. It just will not place you in the part of the story you are expecting, maybe. Those stages with multiple cutscenes can throw off the order a bit. In any case, this also means that if you mess up and accidentally complete Security Hall 39 like it's Security Hall 40, the run isn't dead, you just have to fight Final Hazard, which doesn't invalidate your run, but it does make it slower. So, the actual how of this run. You make a new file.
You can change many things. Which file?
This is what makes the run start. As soon as you made the new file, you get ready to start the timer on the 2P battle menu. As soon as you start it, you start your timer, and you press, actually I'm going to go back and do that again like I'm not in a run. It says 2P press start. Any other 2-player binding does not work here. You have to find the start button you've assigned for 2-player in the launcher, which we assigned to Alt. It then says press A, but you can press Alt again, and it doesn't matter. Then go over to Treasure Hunt Race. You can select any character or skin. Some people opt to go for Tikal because she's faster. although her radar is weaker. So that's a kind of a double-edged sword. Depends on how good you are with the radar reading of the 2-player pieces. I will be showing Knuckles because I just tend to play as Knuckles. It's faster to just spam the A button than it is, or I get more time save out of spamming the A button than I do out of the to call usage due to the fact that I'm not particularly fast with to call. But it's more of a preference thing than anything else. Press Alt for Rouge and then press A or Start for Knuckles.
Stage select.
And now this is the menuing portion that has to be done every run. Battle options, change to 3, back. The reason you change it to 3 is because the entire premise under which this category operates is setting a warp value that CKG can use. Warp values are only otherwise used in Cannon's core, so I think you can CKG into Cannon's core, but for our purposes, the main thing you want to do is CKG into a warp point created at Security Hall. If you pick Dry Lagoon or Egg Quarters, then there is a 50-50 chance that your next match in the 2 out of 3 will be in Security Hall. So, what most runners do is they pick Dry Lagoon, as it is faster than Egg Quarters on average, and then hope for the 50-50 to get warped to Security Hall so that they can do any percent. Let's pick Dry Lagoon.
I am one with the Master Emerald.
I won't lose to the likes of you.
If you've never done a 2-player battle before, the rules are a little bit different. Also, I have Racemod enabled in case you're wondering why the pieces look different. 2-player battle is not a 1st to 3 like the story mode is. It is instead a 1st to 2, and free pieces are much more potent.
Not as strong as you thought you were.
Finding out where your pieces are very quickly is very useful, and you are able to use Rouge as a secondary radar, but if you're not really good, that might not be very useful. Something you've noticed is we won the 50-50. We are in Security Hall. This took me 18 tries to win the coin flip the first time I did any percent. So if you get 1,000,000 Egg Quarters in a row, don't worry, your game's not bugged. You're just unlucky. I've been there. In any case, now that we're in Security Hall, your first thought might be to exit game, right? Wrong. If you exit game, your warp point will be set back to 0. As a matter of fact, most things will set your warp point back to 0. Exit game, game over. Finishing a stage won't, unless it's the kind of stage finish that takes you back to the main menu, then it will. The only things that won't reset your stage warp value are clearing a stage in a story and exiting via the continue menu in the 2-player battle. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let me complete this Security Hall quickly. So, now that we finished Security Hall, the continue menu that I mentioned earlier will reappear. Or it will appear, rather. It will give you a yes or no option. If you click yes, you just undid all the 2-player that you just did. Good job. If you click no, then the run will continue. We are on a new file, so you're allowed to just spam B, go to the 1P play menu, and start your Dark Story run. The Dark Story run up until Radical Highway is identical to how you would play it in any other category. Feel free to just use your regular Dark Story strats in order to get to the part of the run in which the magic happens. Although there's one important difference, and I actually will briefly pause to tell you about that now. If you game over in Sand Ocean, or anywhere else for that matter, but predominantly in Sand Ocean, you will need to restart the file from the beginning, because game overing resets all of the 2P warp point work, as we've mentioned earlier. So, it won't invalidate your run to go and do the 2-player stuff again and then hop back into your Dark Story file, but that sounds pretty slow. So ultimately, a lot of the things that can go wrong about this run won't invalidate it, but they will make it significantly slower, and the choice is yours. In any case, I will see you when we are in Radical Highway. Alright, Now that we're back in Radical Highway, I hope you have some lives, because if anything goes wrong, you will need to restart or actually, yeah, just restart. If you die after setting up the Chao Key Glitch or after breaking open the Chao box, you will need to restart your stage. Well, let's talk about that Chao box first. The Chao box is on this platform. This is where the magic happens. What I like to do is kill this guy because I'm scared of death. Go around the back. If you mash somersault, you will not collect the Chao Key right now. The little hop that the key does allows for it to pass over your character. I like to kill this guy too, just in case. So you might be thinking, you just opened the Chao box, but you didn't collect the key. What's happening? So, spin dash under this. This area looks like it needs the light shoes, but you can spin dash jump over there. Right here is the flame ring. If this is your first any percent run and you're looking a bit low on lives, or even if you're not looking that low on lives, I would still recommend picking this up, just in case. This is a little bit of extra time loss if you're a better player, but it will come in useful for a just in case scenario. So it's better to have it than to not. Like if you're not super confident in your security all yet. In any case, what you need to do now is do a little tap jump to reset your hover frames. And then you'll want to spin dash hover. Oh, the camera trigger is really persistent. You'll want to spin dash hover over down there. Damn, these camera triggers are not helping. I'll just show you. Tap jump, hold B and down left, hold A, loop to forward. And I collected the Chao Key slowly. Because I collected the Chao Key slowly, I am now required to reset the stage. Because as soon as you open the box, if it gets collected or if you die, or both, it will not go back to normal unless you hit restart. This is another reason why you need lives. It's not just to prevent yourself from game overing, it's to prevent yourself from situations where you're bad. Get those guys taken care of. Spin dash jump up here. Little jump to reset my hover frames. Hover over there. And that was a bit sloppy, but I still got the Chao Key Glitch set up. So now that I have this, it's completing the stage as normal. Make sure you don't die. Make sure you don't restart again. And definitely make sure you don't game over. But I'll see you actually at the end of the stage. Now that we're at the end of Radical Highway, here's where the fun begins.
Here we go. Ultimate victory.
So you'll get spawned into Security Hall, the same way that Rouge would start the cutscene from. Oh. What? So as it turns out, if you have Racemod enabled, any percent looks a little bit different. So we're gonna, I'm gonna be right back. Now that we're back into Security Hall as Shadow, it's time to go over what happens immediately. You literally cannot pause before falling, and I ended up falling into the treasure scope room because I held forward out of fear that I would die. Just kidding, this was planned. But if you don't know what's happening and you fall into Security Hall and just kind of hold forward as a panic reaction, you're not screwed. At least not if you grabbed the flame ring earlier. You can flame ring out of this area and be safe. It's also worth grabbing a ring. You might see the gold ring over here and think, I should go get that. Not yet. If you go touch that gold ring, what will happen instead of going to, the next Security Hall, is you'll just end up in the next stage, having skipped one cutscene. Instead, what you need to do is you need to jump over this gap. Well, you need to stand on this square right here. Spin dash over this jump, homing attack. And if you land up here, go back down here. You'll see there is a Chao box right in the middle. Eggman thinks we're Rouge. So the point of this is we need to break this Chao box with the camera far away, obtain the key, and then after we've obtained the key, we can bring the camera back to where we are and go collect the gold ring from there, which, after we collect it, will bring us to the next security hall. So, easiest way to do that. Get onto this little box, press R to, get the camera behind this corner, press LR to lock the camera, spin dash upright, homing attack. If you see this darker part, you'll know that you're in the bottom. If you see a lighter part of the wall, you are on this part of the wall. I'll try and do the homing attack a bit late so you can see. Yeah, if you see this, you are on the top corner. But if you see, like, as you can see, it's still lighter, so that you know that we haven't fallen. Now that we're in the darker portion, you know that we're on the ground. And you might be thinking, how the hell do I see where I'm supposed to go? There are two ways. If you believe you are in front or ahead of the Chao box, closer to the wall, then you want to hold upright and somersault. As you can tell, I just got it. But I've moved past where the key is. How do I get it? Hold straight down. The two directions you need to hold are upright to go forward and down to go back. You can potentially hold down left, but that's a little bit riskier, I believe, as it might actually pop you out of the enclosure. You don't want to be doing very much control stick movement while the camera's like this. But as soon as you've collected the Chao key, you can make the camera normal again. Watch out to make sure that you don't get hit by that laser beam without any rings. And then go get the gold ring.
Here we go.
After you've obtained the gold ring, you will fall back into the sky from the exact same spot that you did last time. I'll show you the slightly more noob-friendly way of doing the security hall CKG, and then the faster way. So I like to fall into here. And the reason I like to fall into here is because you can grab those 5 rings and homing attack onto there. I haven't done it in a while, so that's why I missed the homing attack. But that's a way that's ultimately not too much slower than the fast way, and you're able to collect some bonus rings in case you get hit by the laser beam. So again, get the camera behind this corner, lock your camera, spin dash, jump, and homing attack, and fall. I believe I'm ahead of the Chao box, so I'll hold down. You heard the box break and the score went up by 50, so you know I've broken the box. I was able to collect the Chao key, move the camera back to where I am, got hit, glad I had rings.
Here we go.
And we hit the gold ring. Last but not least, I'm going to show you the fast way, in which you clip into one of the corners and land directly on top of the box. So I like to hold up left and move the camera over to the right. You can land directly on this box. I missed it. Again, behind the corner. Lock the camera. Spin dash jump, and I like to homing attack pretty quick just to kill my momentum. Somersault downwards if you think you've gone past it. Hit the gold ring.
Here we go.
Now, the very last thing that I will show you in this tutorial is how to finish the run. So after you've completed your 39th security hall with Chao Key Glitch, you need to finish the stage. So what's the fastest way to do that? Land right in this corner. Go straight into the gold ring.
Here we go.
Now, because I haven't actually done 40 security halls, you'll just see where you go when you get warped however many story indexes I went forward. So this is 1 story indexes every cutscene or stage.
Too easy for me.
And let's see where we end up. Which cutscene is this? Weapons bed. We made it to weapons bed. So as you can see, we did not play egg quarters because those security halls we did boosted us past there. Well, I believe that is all that needs to be covered in this tutorial. Apologies if this is a bit late to mention this, but yes, this is only for the security hall variant of this run. There are a couple of other variants that can be done, notably Meteor Herd, but it's worth noting that if you do decide to do one of the other 2-player stages, such as Meteor Herd or Egg Quarters or any of those, you will still need to do 40 if you do the Radical Highway Chao Key Glitch. If you do another Chao Key Glitch variant, like if you do, let's say, City Escape Chao Key Glitch gets found eventually, you're going to need to do significantly more than 40, as you'll need to iterate through all of the hero story indices, excuse me. You'll have to navigate through all of the hero story indices, followed by all of the dark story indices, and then the last story indices. So you'll have to do significantly more than 40 in that outcome. But all of that being said, for the Radical Highway into Security Hall CKG, any percent route, that is all that needs to be said. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck doing your first run. Let me know if there's anything I missed, and good luck on your attempts. Thanks for watching.